Hi, I'm Garrett with IDC Woodcraft, and welcome to my channel. I want to talk to you today if you are considering buying a little CNC router or laser and you've just been sitting on the fence for a while. You kind of want it, you do want it, you've been doing a lot of research, but you just can't cross over, if you will. And I want to talk to you about a few things here: your budget, which machine to get, and most importantly, the hesitation that you've been just thinking about. And maybe the confusion if you don't even know about machining, the CNC router or a CNC laser, a cutter. So let's kind of cover this in this short video with a little motivation. Let's just start right off at the top. If you've been looking for a while and you really want it, and you seem to be stuck at this point of budget, the cost of the machine, and this little thing holding you back. I don't know if I can do it, but you just keep looking. And of course, which machine do you get? Well, let's cover the big one first, the motivation part. If you've been looking at these things for quite a while because you see lots of videos about these really cool projects, first I want to tell you, it's just going to take a little while to get to that level to be able to make some of these really awesome projects. But you can do it. There's a learning curve to everything, and it comes with the CNC as well. But it's a lot of fun. Here's what seems to hold you back, because it did with me. You get the bug in you, you go, wow, I really want to do this. And then we start doing research on the machines, and we see all these different machines. I got so many selections out there, and we don't know what to pick. So let's talk about why that's happening, and really what I wanted to say ultimately is just do it. Just pick one and go with it, right? But let's talk about this. What's holding you back? We see the money thing, right? Let's take, for example, this machine here. That's BobsCNC E4, Evolution 4. It's a do-it-yourself. Well, all the machines you're going to buy, you're going to have to build them yourself. They'll come in parts, but they're usually really easy to build. This one was a lot of fun because it's really a work of art. It's like building a model airplane. But we sit on the fence on cost, and we try to kind of cheap ourselves out, right? Oh, a $2,500 machine, that is so much to spend. And we start downsizing ourselves. And what we end up doing is we end up going into the substandard selection because we're cheaping ourselves out. This is really what's going on. You've got this creative energy thing inside of you that's trying to come out, and our mindset is holding us back because of money or which one do we pick? Here's what I'm going to say. If you don't know about CNC stuff and you just want to get into it, buy a really inexpensive one. There's a lot of really good ones that they all work. For $300, I would recommend the Yara Home. I'll put a link to their website down below. The Yara Home 3018. It'll do a project about this big around, and you can carve with it on your CNC machine. You're gonna have to get some tools with it, but that's part of the learning curve, right? But it's a nice small machine. It's really easy to work with. It works with a really simple software that's free, and that way you can just experiment with it. It costs $300. It's just that way you can get your feet wet. That's what I did. I bought a cheap laser, a $300 laser. It does an area about this big, and I bought this Bob's E4. What happened with me was I knew I was going to make it a business, and I was cheaping myself out. I actually had a semi-professional router that I really wanted, but because of cost, that worry about money, I went and bought this. Bob's E4 is a hobby machine. You can make projects for family, for yourself, but it's not a production machine. What I want to do is get into woodworking production, so I actually ended up buying the Stepcraft anyway. I'm just waiting for the machine now. $6,000. So really, hindsight, that's what we do, right? We like sit there and hesitate, and then we think, crap, why did I buy that one when I didn't buy the one that I wanted? I would say go with your heart, right? If your heart is set on a particular machine, it caught your eye, it feels like it's doing the right stuff, then just go with the investment. This is what's happening. Your creative juices are trying to come out. And you will learn this. Sometimes we're just afraid of the machine, right? We're afraid because we don't know anything about it. You'll learn. And there's a huge community out there, lots of communities that will help you out, including me. I love this stuff. I've got a history of machining myself, so I'm very familiar with this kind of stuff, but there's still a learning curve because I fell out of it for many years when I became an engineer. But the thing is, you get to a point where you can create just a project like this, where I learned the software and I drew the shape, put the name on there. That's not my name, that's my sister's name, and made her this little Tennessee sign with a heart in Knoxville, just like that's where she's at with her family. And it's so much fun to get to that place. Here's the thing. It's going to be a journey, right? You're going to have to learn this. You see a lot of really fancy projects out there. There's stuff to learn to get to that. So it's going to be a little bit of a journey. Budget. Let's go back on budget for a second. First, go with your heart. Do what you want to do, and the money will take care of itself. But if you're tight on a budget, again, buy an inexpensive machine just to play with. Just go bite the bullet. You'll be able to use it for other stuff later when you advance and get to higher level machines. Some of the stuff costs $5,000 to $6,000. And it is. It's a big chunk of change. I would say just start with a small machine. See if you like it. That $300 investment, laser or mill. You'll know when you start playing with it. Which machine? Again, just go with your heart. Stop beating yourself up, because the longer we hesitate, the more we end up downgrading. And you are worth what you want. Yeah, here's the motivation. I'm so much into self-empowerment. So you are worth what you want. Just get it. You never know what's going to happen and where it's going to take you. It's a new venture. Just know in the back of your mind you're hesitating for, not because you don't want the machine or the money, you're hesitating because you're scared of taking the step to go into something you're going to have to learn ultimately. And you can create images. You can create amazing things, and you'll be able to do it fairly quickly. You're just going to have to learn the stuff. If you're thinking about buying a CNC router, CNC laser etcher, or CNC laser cutter, just buy it. Stop stressing yourself out over which one. They all have their pros and cons, and you'll discover that. But just make the selection. The relief you'll feel after you choose that machine and buy it. It's like, I finally got one. Instead of the 3 weeks of stress. You did research to learn about it a little bit. You got some feel. You know that there's just different. There's so much stuff you can do. Let's get your creative juices flowing instead of that stress of should I buy it or not. So here's my recommendation. Buy an inexpensive machine to play with if you have no experience with it. Yara Home is a good product. I really like them. They're built in China. They come out of their distributors in Ohio. I like them because they have good personal service. The machines, they're decent machines. They have their limitation. Like, you're going to get limitations at that kind of cost, but they work. And I would recommend at the Yara Home, if you're going to do that, get the upgrade. Just play with get the kit that has the mill, the router, the laser etcher, and the 3D printer. That way you can play with all three and get a feel for which one you really like. And who knows, maybe you'll get into all of them. I mean, I'm upgrading really fast. I started off with the Yara Home laser and BobsCNC. I've already bought the Stepcraft. I'm just waiting for it. I'm going to buy a laser cutter. I'm going into business with this stuff. That's my total intention. So by doing that, buying a hobby machine, it was good for the practice and to learn. And quickly, because of where I'm going, I have to upgrade. So that's my little pep talk. Don't worry about the budget. Just buy the machine and learn. You know, buy the software or get the software. You can download the software and play with it, but it's just not the same until you have the machine. That's it. A little motivation. Take the leap. Buy your machine. Get that creative juice flowing. Get your worth. Stop hesitating. If you have 3 selections, just pick one. Just pick one. Pick it for the customer service, because when you have problems, if you have I've actually cut some out because their customer service was poor, that I didn't buy. But there were 4 machines that I had selected. And the first one was cut out because they wouldn't get on the phone with me. They'd communicate with email. SandSmart or something like that is the name of the company. I emailed them because they were my number 1 choice until I couldn't get customer service. Make sure you got good customer service. I'm thoroughly impressed with BobsCNC customer service. I'm thoroughly impressed with Your Home customer service. So those are my 2 recommendations. Yeah, that's it. So go for it. If you want to have a lot of fun building one, buy the BobsCNC E3 or E4 machine. I would go with the E4. That costs $1,000. Your Home, you can get a laser. You can get it all for like $300, $400, $500, and then you can just tinker around. All right, thanks for hanging around. That's my 2 cents. This is IDC Woodworking. I'm Garrett, and IDC stands for We Imagine It, We Design It, and We Create It. Just like something like this. Beautiful. And it's not that hard to do, and a lot of fun when you end up with a result like that from an idea. So let's exercise your ideas. Get your CNC machine. All right. Please leave a comment and tell me what holds you back on buying your equipment. You know, the deeper thing, if you can figure it out. And just write down, all right, I'm just going for it. I'm just going to buy it. We're always scared jumping into something new. So please leave a comment, and I will talk to you later.